For me, call your shot season right now is projecting the top 5 quarterbacks in November. So I want to make this as clear as possible. There are going to be comments under this YouTube video, not by y'all, by other people I already know, that are having an issue with this list and processing this list as a power rankings going into the season. Okay, this is not a power rankings right now. This is a projection on what these players will do at the end of 2023. All right? So making sure we're all on the same page there. But the top 5 quarterbacks for me in college football in November are going to be as follows. So we're calling our shot here. But at number 5, man, I got Joe Milton from Tennessee. And Joe Milton in the Orange Bowl put on a clinic. Put on an absolute clinic. And for me, he's always been a powder keg kind of player. And so you take his physical tools. Dude has Uncle Rico arm strength, has enormous size, throws down backflips like Anthony Richardson. Plus the weapons they have at Tennessee, Squirrel White, Dante Thornton, who's 6'5", by the way, Brew McCoy, who's a bully on the outside, plus Josh Heupel's offensive system, that equals boom for me. And the buzz out of Knoxville so far is that he is dialed in. Like all the reports that we've heard from people close to that operation are that he is looking good, which at this point in the year, you would hope everybody looks good, but he's looking like he is comfortable in the system. And I think him sitting behind Hendon Hooker may have been the best thing for his career that's ever happened. Got a chance to sit back, see somebody else do it at a really, really high level, and now is getting the keys to the offense. And I think he's going to do phenomenal things. Unreal ceiling, virtually has no ceiling. There's people in Tennessee that believe that if they go 9-3, he'll be a top 10 pick. He has that much physical ability, and the offense itself, I think, is going to allow him to put up numbers along with what he's going to do in that offense. I want to make sure this is clear, though, when it comes to Joe Milton. This is a very different Joe Milton than the one that struggled at Michigan. Because that's kind of the punchline for a lot of people outside the Tennessee bubble is, oh, overthrow Joe. You saw what he did at Michigan. And it's fair to say that he struggled at Michigan. It's fair to say we haven't seen him in a 12-game setting just yet. 100% true. No disagreement there. But to just assume that he stayed the same player from his time in Ann Arbor to where he is now in Knoxville. Listen, Joe Milton's been through some stuff now. He's lost the starting quarterback job not once but twice. He's had to sit behind and watch Hendon Hooker. And I think for him, that will do a lot for the way that he is wired now competitively. I think it has hardened him. And I think it's going to lead to tremendous results from him for a leadership standpoint and on the field. So Joe Milton, for me, will be a top 5 quarterback when it's all said and done in the regular season. Make sure you're locked in. Make sure you're subscribed. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at JD Pickell. As we get rolling here now into the season, there's going to be some content on there that we do on those social media platforms we're not going to do on here. So to get the whole experience, to get the whole program experience, make sure you're following me there. But most importantly, make sure you're subscribed right here. Can't have any missed shows together, all right? We got to do this thing together now. We're jumping into the season. We, us, ours, okay? Here we go now. The number 4 quarterback for me at the end of November, end of the regular season, it's going to be Bo Nix. Now, Bo Nix from Oregon, new OC. Will Stein coming over to call the offense. Kenny Dillingham has gone to Arizona State to lead that whole operation forward. And my bet for him, the bet that I'm making, is that everything we saw last year with Bo Nix, I believe was real. Because you saw good Bo, you saw bad Bo at Auburn. I think last year's Bo was the real Bo. I mean, over 4,000 total yards, 29 touchdown passes, 14 rushing touchdowns. You know what a season like that does for a guy like Bo Nix, being able to just totally relocate out of his home state of Alabama? You know what that does for him? I think it provides confidence. I think now he's finally comfortable. I think he finally is in his own zone. And I think all of those things create a really solid foundation for this coming season. I know it's a new offense. I think it'll be a similar offense for him schematically in terms of what they ask him to do. I think it'll yield phenomenal results. And I think Bo Nix is set to pop off yet again. We saw the numbers last year. It's not a question anymore of, oh, can Bo Nix do it? Can he do it consistently? He did it consistently last year. I think if Oregon wins a few more games last year, Bo Nix is probably in New York City for the Heisman Trophy. So with that being said, I think he picks up right where he left off last year, and Bo Nix will be a top 5 quarterback in college football. Mic drop, period, the end. Now, At number 3, this is where it's going to start to ruffle some feathers, okay? Number 3, I got Quinn Ewers. People are saying, well, JD, he was so inconsistent last year. He threw 30 incompletions against Oklahoma State. There has been nobody that has been more critical of the inconsistency for Quinn Ewers than yours truly. But the degrees of separation for Quinn Ewers being a top 5 quarterback in college football and him not being a top 5 quarterback in college football where we are today, I don't think the separation is that far. Because I would ask you this. We saw Quinn Ewers play at a top 5 level last year at times, did we not? Game against Alabama. JD was the first half. I understand it was the first half. But in that first half, in that moment, the entire country was saying, oh my gosh, Quinn Ewers and Texas are about to beat Alabama. And then he gets hurt. The game totally gets flipped on its side. Bryce Young does what he does. But you hear what I'm saying. For that moment, we saw Quinn Ewers live up to the billing he had as a recruit. Game against Oklahoma. Quinn Ewers just dealing darts on demand. Hat tip to our guy StatCat for that reference there. He's just absolutely dealing the pill like a shady pharmacist in that game. They go 49-0. He looks like the best quarterback I've seen in a Texas uniform since Colt McCoy. There's no question about the tools. There's no question about what he has under the hood. We've seen him do it. And Steve Sarkisian said yesterday at Big 12 Media Day, listen, if we do what we're supposed to do as a team, if Quinn does what he's supposed to do, yeah, he probably is going to live up to that first round projection as an NFL quarterback that he's getting right now. Like, that's all real. And Steve Sarkisian now, I don't think he would say that. I don't think he'd put that pressure on Quinn Ewers if he didn't have some sort of confidence in Quinn Ewers following through on that. Okay? Quinn Ewers, all the ability in the world. Entire offensive line back for Texas. Weapons on weapons on weapons. Xavier Worthy, Isaiah Nayor, A.D. Mitchell. Like, we go down the list here. Running game, I think, is going to be just fine. And I think the fact that Arch Manning was at spring practice maybe gave him a little extra push. Quinn Ewers used to be business in the front, party in the back. Shaved off the party in the back. No more mullet for the boy. Take of that as you will, but I think he's about to pop. I think he will be a top 5 quarterback when it's all said and done. And number 2, and this is where there's no surprises, we got Drake May from North Carolina. And Drake May is just about to do more Drake May things in 2023. I mean, in 2022, over 5,000 total yards, 38 touchdown passes, 7 rushing touchdowns. North Carolina, he just absolutely willed them to 9 wins a season ago. When you look at Drake May in November, when you look at his body of work, make sure you look at his stats and not just North Carolina's record and then define him. Because like I said, last year, he willed them to, I believe it was 6 one-score wins. That is a lot of games to come up on the right side of. So will that repeat itself? I don't know. No more Phil Longo. No more, guy who was leading your offense at that point in time. The defense gives me a lot of hesitation. But this is about Drake May. And Drake May, to me, I call him no drama Drizzy. Reason why I say that? You know what you're getting with him, man. We knew what we were getting with him as a recruit. Was committed to Bama. Goes to his heart and flips to North Carolina. There's no drama with him, man. He's going to walk out there every single Saturday, give you buckets. And that's going to be how we live. Probably will be the number 2 player selected in the NFL draft. No drama with him. He's about to ball. Just watch him do his thing. No drama, Drizzy. Now, at number 1, this is who will be the first quarterback taken, the first player taken in the NFL draft for my money. It's Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, generational, will give USC a chance in every single game they play, regardless of what that defense does. That's how good he is. In 2022, 42 touchdowns, 4,500 yards. His goals for 2023, he's already gone out and said he wants to throw 60 touchdowns. He wants to throw for over 5,000 yards. Dude is just special. Like, there's not a lot to break it down here with Caleb Williams. Can run it, can throw it. But here's my word of advice with Caleb Williams if you're watching him this year as a college football fan. Really just appreciate this. Enjoy this time that we get Caleb Williams as a player in college football. Because I don't think we're going to see another one of him anytime soon. Appreciate him like how we appreciated Johnny Manziel, like how we appreciated Reggie Bush, like how you appreciate Vince Young. Like, I think he's in that category of special. I truly do. Already got 1 Heisman Trophy on the mantle back in L.A. Don't see a reason why he can't go get another one. Promise you that's probably on his goal list as well. Caleb Williams, special in every sense of the word. let's really appreciate the fact that he's in college football for one more year. The best quarterback last year, wholeheartedly believe he will be the best quarterback this coming season at the end of November. So for me, those are the top 5 quarterbacks: Joe Milton, Bo Nix, Quinn Ewers, Drake May, Caleb Williams. That's 5-1. 2 names that were left off. 2 names that a lot of y'all were probably like, hey, where's this guy? And the loudest, I guess, objection we're probably going to get is Jordan Travis at Florida State. Not to worry. He is an honorable mention for me. And Jordan Travis, the big thing I'm watching for him, how do those transfers mesh for him? Because I think Jordan Travis has top 5 ability written all over him. Like, I'm not worried about Jordan Travis having the chance to be a top 5 quarterback. I'm worried about those transfers around him meshing. To be clear, they got some dogs now. I think Keon Coleman is about to have an enormous season. Jaheim Bell, going to be a guy for you at the tight end position. Johnny Wilson, going to go up and get it for you. Like, they've got some pieces now. They just all got to get on the same page. So Jordan Travis, I think, absolutely has a chance to be a top 5 quarterback in college football. One more guy I want to throw at you here, Carson Beck. Carson Beck is, I would imagine, everybody would imagine, is going to be the starting quarterback at Georgia. Hasn't been announced yet. It's pretty much how we all feel. And Carson Beck, to me, has the biggest what-if factor, the biggest boom factor, potentially, of this entire group, maybe next to Joe Milton. And the reason why I say that is you saw what Georgia's offense was last year. You saw what Stetson Bennett did last year. And no knock on Stetson Bennett, but Stetson Bennett was a walk-on. Surprise, surprise. I know you haven't heard that 5 million times. Stetson Bennett walked on at Georgia. Carson Beck was recruited to Georgia. Carson Beck was recruited by a lot of places. And so that leads me to believe, just based on what God gave Stetson Bennett and what God gave Carson Beck probably has a little bit more natural ability. Now, Stetson Bennett still has GOAT status in Athens, don't get it twisted. But that still begs the question for me, can Carson Beck potentially take over the reins of this offense with all the talent they have around him and go out and sling the pill? I think he can, and I was very, very close to putting both him and Jordan Travis in this top 5. But watch Carson Beck. Watch him work. I don't know they're going to ask a ton of him early on. Probably get to see most of his ability in November and against Tennessee, and should they play in the SEC title game. But Carson Beck and Jordan Travis both deserve top 5 consideration in that top 5 conversation. If you had them in your top 5, no fault. Curious to hear what y'all say. So get at me on Twitter. Get at me in the comment section. Get at me in the live chat in here and let me know who makes up your top 5 list. Not right now. This is not a power rankings currently. I'm talking at the end of this season, who will be the top 5 quarterbacks in college football. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.